football fans, welcome back to Seize the Day. I'm Isaac Wheeler, and today we are going to be discussing just the playoff hopes for the Bengals, and we're going to go into the injury reports and Jamar Chase's historic season so far. So, if you were able to catch it on Monday, the Bengals beat the Cowboys 27-20. That was a great game all the way around with the block punt. Cowboys dropped it. We were able to recover it. Which set us up for the game-winning touchdown drive. Anyhow, so Jamar Chase, he started his game off, again, as usual, hot, you could say, because he, after that game, put him back up in the lead for the Triple Crown, so he's on his way to that. Fingers crossed that he can make his way all the way to get that Triple Crown at the end of the year. On the game's first play, Jamar Chase had his 80th reception this year, which is amazing. And he officially became the first NFL player in history to record 80-plus catches, 1,000 or more receiving yards, and at least 7 receiving touchdowns in their first 4 career seasons. So his final touchdown happened late in the fourth quarter. That put Jamar Chase over 5,000 career yards. And that was only his 58th career game and is the 5th fastest player in league history to reach 5,000 receiving yards. So I thought that was pretty cool. Jamar Chase ended up with 14 receptions for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. His 14 catches were the second most in his personal career, and they're tied for the second most in any Bengals game ever. His final touchdown was also the 43rd of Jamar Chase's career. It surpassed former Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski. He had 42, and he became the 4th most within a player's first 4 seasons in NFL history. So he's up there. The highest is 53. So I doubt he's going to be able to get that. 10 touchdowns in 4 games, probably not going to happen. As Jamar Chase did that last touchdown catch, put him in 4th for most touchdown passes in a player's first 4 career seasons, but it also broke his old touchdown record, which happened in his 2021 rookie campaign season. So he had 13 that year, and this year he has 14, and I think he can keep adding on to that in these next 4 games. As for Joe Burrow, he completed 33 of 44 passes. He had 369 yards and 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception. It was good for a passer rating of 112.8. So that's pretty good. He's now the 6th quarterback of all time to throw for 300-plus yards and 300 touchdowns in 4 consecutive games. And the record is 5. And if our offense can keep playing like the way they are, I do believe that Joe Burrow could break that record. I truly do. We do have the Titans and the Browns coming up, and I feel like if Joe Burrow can keep playing the way he has been, he can put up numbers on those 2 teams and get just over that record. So that would be really cool for him to get that record, I think. As for playoffs hopes for the Bengals, what needs to happen is the Broncos to lose to get a wild card spot. They do play the Colts, the Chargers, and then they'll play the Bengals, and then their final game will be the Chiefs. I know the Colts and the Broncos, it should be a pretty good game. The matchup looks, I know the records don't look the same, but if you go through, there's like a couple stats that are like real close and a couple that are really distant. But hopefully the Colts can pull themselves together for this week and get a W. And then I know the Chargers can beat the Broncos. They've proved themselves to me, I feel. Coming into the season, I was not sure how they were going to do. I did not think they'd be in the position that they are now, but I do full-heartedly believe that they can beat the Broncos. And then I am very hopeful that we beat the Broncos because we really need that win. And then, of course, we have the Chiefs and the Broncos. Chiefs always kind of play down, I feel like, in their own division. If you'll go back and look at, like, some of the numbers through there, it's just, like, real close games, especially in some of those games where it should have been, like, Chiefs should have been blowing them out of the water because the other teams have not played well, but it's always like real close because the Chiefs don't end up playing well. But I do believe that the Chiefs can pull out that win, especially with those rests, dark magic type stuff. Anyhow, So for the Bengals, we have the Titans, the Browns, and then we'll stay at home to play the Broncos, and then we'll go to Pittsburgh for our final game of the season. I do believe that we can beat the Titans. I know we can beat the Browns. We've done it before this season. That game was flexed out of the Thursday night into a Sunday game. But that's a home game for us as well. And then we'll have the Broncos at home as well. And I do believe that we can beat the Broncos. I think that if you listen to like the Bengals post-game celebrations, you know that they've been like, Zach Taylor's really like congratulating them because they've been taking a lot of crap, but they've just been pulling themselves together because they know like this is an important stretch of the season. Then as for that game in January against the Steelers did unfortunately beat us at home, so I feel like we will be playing with the chip on our shoulder. But I also do believe that if the Steelers have already clinched their playoff or division, if they've clinched a little bit at that point, I do believe that they'll sit some of their starters for part of the game at least. So I'm really hoping that we can pull that win. But if we can win out here, we have a shot at the playoffs, just as the Broncos lose out. And as I said, the Broncos do have a relatively tough schedule ahead of them. As for this weekend, though, for the Bengals, it will be the Bengals and Titans in Tennessee. And there are some injuries. I'm going to go ahead and read those off to you because I do have them pulled up. So Orlando Brown Jr., he was out today. He did not participate in practice. Linebacker Joe Bacci, he has a groin injury, did not participate today. T. Higgins was just resting, so he was limited. Charlie Jones, also groin. He did not participate today. Offensive tackle Marius Mims, the rookie, he was just resting, limited participation. And then defensive tackle Sheldon Rankings, he was sick, so he did not play. And then as always, they were just watching Joe Burrow with his right wrist. And then if you'll notice, if you were watching the Cowboys game, later in the game, he did mess up his knee. Not really sure what happened there, but he was limited today. So hopefully he can heal that up by Sunday and be back to normal. As for the Titans, they got some injuries as well. So their linebacker, Jerome Baker, has a neck injury, and he was back for participation today, so he should be playing Sunday. As for Tyler Boyd, he has a foot injury, and he did not participate today, which I'm kind of hoping he does get back for Sunday because I feel like that would be a fun matchup just to watch, like Mike Hilton play him in the slot as when Tyler Boyd lines up there and just get all that fun in. Then they're also their tackle, Jalen Duncan, has a hamstring injury, but he was back today, so he should be there for Sunday. Their kicker, Nick Folk, groin injury. He did not participate. So if you saw the Cowboys game, you might have noticed that McPherson was missing. And Cade York, McPherson has I think it's a groin injury. Not 100% sure. It's like somewhere around there. But Cade York was actually on Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase's college team in LSU when they won the championship. So that's pretty cool that they're all back together. Back to the Titans injuries. They also have linebacker Luke Gifford out with a calf. He was full today. Will Levis, right shoulder, full today. Their corner, Roger McCreary, shoulder, back today. So they all should be in. But just something to watch during game. If they take a hard hit, any of those places, shoulder or calf, it might keep them out of the game for a little bit. Their linebacker, Kenneth Murray, has a hamstring injury. He did not participate today. Neither did their running back, Tony Pollard, with an ankle. Their linebacker, Otis Reese, with an ankle, limited. Defensive tackle, Jeffrey Simmons, was resting, so did not participate. And their guard, Peter K. I'm totally going to pronounce this wrong, I think. Skoronski. Ankle injury, but he was full participation back today. And then their nose tackle, Devondre Sweat, with a shoulder. He did not participate today. So there's the injuries for Sunday. So I feel like that should be a pretty good game. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm really hoping the Bengals come back to win. I know we can do it. I feel like we saw on Monday night a little bit of the Bengals that we know, and I feel like we saw the defense that we thought we were going to have in the beginning of the season, because I, for one, going into the season, I had both predicted 14-3, not going to lie. I truly thought that our defense was going to be a lot better than they have been, and they really played really well Monday night. I'm going to give them credit for that. They played amazing all night Monday night, much better than they usually do. Usually it's like one half and the other half is not so good. But yeah, like getting Von Bell back, Geno Stone, getting him in the trade, Jordan Battle, even though this is just his sophomore season, he's showing true potential, but he had that like injury thing. Mike Hilton, I feel, is very underrated. I feel like he's one of the top slot corners in the league, and I feel like he can make some serious trouble, whether he's guarding his manned up, or he's like rushing. He's got some rushing action in the pass, and he's always pretty good about that. Then Cam Taylor-Britt, he's always on and off because it's like in the first half, like for the majority of the season, it's like you're lined up against Cam Taylor-Britt, you're getting the touchdown. And going into the season, that was something else I was shocked about on later on, because I was like, Cam Taylor-Britt, I think he's a top 5 corner in the league, probably like number 5, which I know isn't like a super popular opinion, probably, but even going into the season. But he did have his moments last season where he played really well, and even this season he's had some really good highlight reels. That one-handed interception against Kansas City was amazing, but he's just always like, he let up a touchdown just about every game. And then Monday night, it all started with the Steelers when he had that pick 6. I feel like that kind of got his momentum back up, and he's just been playing a lot better, I feel, since then. But yeah, with that momentum that he's gaining, hopefully it just goes for like the whole defense, and because I know the defense has been really gaining some momentum. I feel like the sack numbers are down across the whole league this year. I don't know if like everybody got better offensive linemen or something, but Trey Hendrickson leading the league with 12.5 right now. And last year at the end of the regular season, TJ Watt, he was leading the NFL in that, and he had like 19.5 or 20.5, something like that. But I just feel like that's a really low number this year. So I think Trey Hendrickson is one of the best pass rushers in the league, for sure. And hopefully he can get in there and cause some trouble for the Will Levis and Jameis Winston coming up. As for our offensive side of the ball, the quarterbacks, Joe Burrow has been playing at MVP level, caliber level. If he is not in the running for MVP at the end of the season, I don't know what's going on. I know our team isn't winning, but this guy's putting up a crap ton of points each and every weekend. Like, the offense is just a show to watch, really, most of the time. He's always putting up numbers, yards, touchdowns, everything. And I do feel like he's playing at that MVP level. I really do. And I know a lot of people are saying, like, it's going to be Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley. And it's like, yeah, they're putting up good numbers. And I will say that Josh Allen had an amazing game against the Rams. They should have won that. I don't know why, what happened there, how they lost that. That was ridiculous. But, yeah, I know in fantasy he put up like 50-something points. So that's a good game. He had 6 touchdowns in all, 3 rushing, 3 passing, so that's a heck of a game right there. But I really do believe that Joe Burrow overall has had the best MVP caliber season. So hopefully he can win that at the end of the year. And we can pull out some wins on this final stretch of the season. If we can pull out these wins and we make it into the playoffs by some miracle in that wild card, I think that will help Zach Taylor out a lot. Not just being a part of the team, but like next year, the way it was looking in the beginning of the season, I wasn't sure if he was going to keep his job. Like, there was fans going at him and his family and all sorts of stuff, just like calling for his head, man. But I do believe that he cares about the team a lot, and I do believe that the players like him. So I feel like if he can lead us to deep enough into the playoffs, he'll be able to keep his job for next season, and hopefully we can get our defense figured out. Lou Anarumo is a very good defensive coordinator. I just feel like with all the new additions to the defense this offseason, I just feel like they weren't clicking on all levels. But yeah, just hopefully make it to the playoffs. Let's just be rooting for the Colts this weekend, along with the Bengals. Cool. Who dat?